Hey everybody and welcome back. My name is Sue and I'm from OML Embroidery and welcome to the land of dragon eggs. It's so awesome. So first thing I want to talk about, we're doing dragon eggs. I'll explain everything they're doing, but that we're doing. But I want to do a quilt. And I want you guys to help me pick out the colors for the quilt. So this is going to be the background, this beautiful orange, flowery kind of batik. Now this is the same fabric, but in turquoise. And this is the same fabric, but in pink. Similar. I think it's the same. It's just a bit darker. And then I found these two other batiks. So what colors do you guys think I should use? Or should I use all of them? So Lynn, good morning. Marianne, good morning. Brenda, love the orange and the pink. Yeah, and the turquoise really catches my attention. Hi, Mom. Beth Price, hello. Yeah, I see Frida Brown. Good morning, Mom. Suzanne, good morning. Isabel, Misha, of course. Robin, hello. Carolyn, hello. Everybody from all over the place. My goodness. Leah says all of them. Well, I was kind of thinking they kind of go, these three being my main colors and then throwing in a little bit of the yellow because it's, you know, dragon's fire, and the dark purple is just beautiful. So Nana says all of them. All of them. Sally says all of them. Misha yelled aloud, all of them. Davina, turquoise. Marianne says she likes the turquoise. Isn't that beautiful though? So I am going to make a quilt. Clamshell shape is one of my favorite shapes in, let's see, English paper piecing. Not so much in sewing because I haven't mastered all the curves yet. So all of them pop, says Lorelei. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of getting at because each of the dragon eggs are beautiful. And I'm going to be doing this on the 10 needle, so I'll take some video of it. I'm going to pre-cut everything. So what do you guys think? I think they're all beautiful and they're all like bright colors. Misha says the purple would be an awesome background too. Yeah, the only holdback is I only have a little bit of that and I have a ton of this. So, and I can't get the fabric anymore. I don't know where to get the fabric. So the fabric is yelling, all of us, all of us. I know, I thought of that too. I think sprinkled the purple and the yellow here and there, I think would look awesome. Beth says, yeah, I need to use the scan and cut more. Thanks for the inspiration. Well, I don't know if you guys saw, but I did a quick time-lapse video. It's pretty fast. And I cut like 27 of them. We're going to use them today too, by the way. So, okay, that's something that's going to be ongoing. I'm making a full quilt. Maybe I could do the sashing in this color. Misha says, oh, I mean, pink would be a good backing. Yeah, I know. You know what? It doesn't have to be fire colors, which I'm going to show you today. Although, the fire colors, this is, oh, a lot of fabric there, just a sec. Oh, there we go. The fire colors is Don's favorite.
I love that.
He loves this one. Now, I didn't make more, but because I ran out of fabric. I ran out of the colors. This is by far my favorite, and it was just a little rogue pack that I had of the orange and the red, and then the yellow. So this was like almost like a fat quarter pack. However, I had used quite a bit of it. So Yeah, they're cute dragons.
Sandy's asking for the name on the purple. Maybe they can track down some more for you.
Oh, it's all Boundless. It's from Craftsy. I used to buy all my. It was so wonderful, actually. All my pre-cut fabrics from Craftsy or Blueprint it was at the time, and they had great prices and the whole bit. So it was lovely. And then they stopped selling it, and it went to this other place, and it was terrible to get it, but glad we got it.
Oh yeah, nice selection.
Yeah, yeah. So fire colors work, but what about this? I think this also works. Now this is fabric from Cricut, and they don't sell it anymore, but me being frugal that I am, it was on sale, excuse me, reaching, and I bought up as much as I could afford. And this is what it came in. Yes, I'm reaching all over there. Sorry about that. This is how it came, and it's sampler. And what makes it awesome is it is exactly 12 inches across. So what does that mean? Well, it fits perfectly on your mat. If you have the long fabric mat, which I happen to, you just plop this on. And it's the perfect width and length. You don't have to do anything else. So I don't know why they stopped selling it. The packs are beautiful, and some of them are absolutely adorable, but that's where I got this from, and it's just super convenient. They don't sell it well, not in Canada. They might do in the States. I have no idea. But that's what I've been doing. Now, the other thing you could do to really make your dragon eggs awesome is use a pack like this. Look, isn't that beautiful? It is just charm squares, but just colors. And you could make it ombre. So basically, the way I've designed it is this charm square fits conveniently, one with a little bit extra. You could use this on the corners if you wanted to overlay the corners. Just remember to match everything else. But it fits perfectly and super easy again to use. But wouldn't an ombre be really cool, or rainbow, I guess, effect?
That would be cool.
Yeah, these are just Kona solids that I got from Missouri Star, and I got this for free, actually. I made a huge order back when, and I was like, oh, big thrill. I love this. I love having all these colors. I would like a layer cake of it too, because I think I would use it a lot. It's wonderful. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun with it. You can see I messed up the order. So on to today. So what I did is I sat there and I cut out each color that I wanted. So everything is pre-cut. I had a few issues, but that's okay. That was user error. So I used this stuff, which is from Dime, and it's called Fusion Stick. And this is amazing stuff. This is super handy. I gotta move it down a little bit. Okay.
Okay, we're good.
You don't. You don't. No. That's too close, Dawn. Fusion Stick. It's absolutely perfect for this. So the fuse part is that you fuse it onto the fabric. Now, one thing you have to make sure, the back of it is paper. It's not like the shiny paper. So you have to cut it upside down, which means you just mirror the design. So when you turn it over, it's the right way. But fabric side down for this, because this will stick to your mat, and it took me, 3 or 4 hours to scrub it off my mat. And then I had to buy a new one, so yeah. So that's the fuse part. So you just iron it on, no steam, make sure everything sticks. And then the best part is that you peel off the backing. Can you see where it's shiny?
Yeah.
And it's sticky. Look at that. So this is, Sue is leading us to bankruptcy. Yeah, well, you can join us there for sure. We'll make a happy OML gang. We'll be broke but super happy. So sticky, and it's repositionable, and when we get to it in our sew along, I will show you, because I'm going to be doing those right here so you can see closer what I'm doing. So isn't that awesome? This stuff is the greatest. Now, you don't have to use the fuse and stick. I happen to really enjoy it. The difference would be not a whole lot, but I mean, you've just got this fabric and you got to make sure it sticks down. We'll talk about that when we get it. And no, you don't have to use a cutting machine. This is why I showed you guys the charm squares. It's regular applique. Regular applique. I'm just doing a pre-cut because it's different and it's a lot of fun. It's normal placement lines, stitch out for all of them, and all the blocks are the same. And then you start at the top left and work your way down, and you put your fabric down, it stitches it down twice, you trim it, go on to the next one. So we're going to do basically the same thing. But what I wanted to point out was that without the background, then you have kind of a little bit of pulling, I guess you could call it. It's not sharp edges. It also doesn't matter because we're going to gumming up from the glue. Nope, not even a little bit with this fuse and stick. None. I've done all of these with the same needle and I haven't had any problems. So this part, it doesn't really matter because we're going to cover it up with satin stitches, right? So, I mean, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. It does take longer to prep your fabric, blah, 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 but it's okay. I do either. Either is fine. Now, if you wanted to put just a touch of spray or maybe a few dots of basting glue inside to hold it, I mean, that's fine either way. So I have a few rogue ones that I have just from doing the layer cakes. This one didn't work out very well, but it's kind of fun to just add them. So this is what we are going to be working with. And the other thing that I thought was really cool about pre-cutting is even if you don't have one done, you can plan out how you want it to look. So kind of like that, or if I wanted, it's like a puzzle. What would it look like if I did all the same shells, but with different outside colors? So what would that? That's kind of cool. Or maybe put one here. I could play with it all day. Like I said, clamshells, this is a dream come true for me, doing clamshell embroidery. I really like the polka dots. Colors, I really don't like this navy blue at all. I like the pink, so I pulled the pink from the flowers. I like the white, oddly enough. And the lilac there, the light color kind of matches with that. Beth, thank you. Thank you for all the hints and creativity with this video. Well, you're very welcome. As much as I can throw on, it's awesome. I'll be doing more cutting videos. Remember, on the Monday, for the next couple of Mondays, we're going to be talking about the program. So we're going to be on the computer helping you guys figure out how to prepare everything and get it to your machine, Cricut, and then scan and cut. Because I have the bells and whistles because I like bells and whistles. So my Luminaire can talk directly to my scan and cut, which is a wonderful convenience, but you don't have to have it. So we're going to talk about the other ways, going old school again. So I think we're ready to start.
Can you do it on the 5x7?
Do what? The block?
Yeah.
This is for 8x8 so far because there is a lot of details in it. I will be making it smaller. I haven't done it yet, but I will. And I will add it on to, so if you've downloaded the 8x8 and you want the 5x7, I'll be adding it onto that file. I don't know if it's going to look as good. I'm not really sure because that's going to be shrinking it down, but it still might. So, yeah.
I think it'll
awesome. You don't have to have a cutter. I'm just exploring it because we never do. We've done a ton of applique videos, and it's done just the same. And I just thought because of the shape, it's not difficult to cut, but I just thought it'd be really fun. So, okay, how about then on this video, I'm going to pick a totally different color, but something that still matches, just to show you guys that, ooh, how about that blue? That's perfect. We're going to do the middle one, I think.
Which one? The blue that matches your nails?
Oh, yeah. Ooh, look at that. Did I do that on purpose? Maybe.
Maybe. Did you show off your nails? Because people are saying they love them.
Maybe. I might have done it on purpose with the kind of pinky purple on it. You know, I know. I don't usually do it on purpose, but I did this time. You'll be able to see them much closer up. So I have the Disney Scan and Cut, and I still can't figure it out. Well, I've done a couple videos, and we're going to be doing a couple more, so you will be able to figure it out. So we're going to do this one regular applique, and in the middle or on the side or something, just to show you you don't have to have a cutter. It's not a big deal. I use mine, just kind of just as much as I sit and cut the applique, so it's not a big deal. So I'm going to get all my pieces ready, and oh, actually I do want them up there, and I want to move this just so we can see it.
But it was pretty, I like it.
I know, but I have to put my hoop down, and you don't want to put a hoop down on top of anything.
The blue and purple one you did, it kind of looks like a night scene. So it's a night dragon scene, the other one's daytime.
Yeah, which would be cool even if I put them together. Yeah. I think it would look fantastic, and I might do that too. It's awesome. Finally managed to pop in again. Woohoo! Pixie. Well, thank you, Pixie. So I'm ready to go. So let's head on over to the machine, and we can get this party started. So, yep, we're all ready to go. Machine done? Yes? All right. First step is the placement. So I've got my 8x8 hoop, 7511 needle that I've been using all along. So just to prove to you guys that it doesn't go anywhere, which is awesome. Doesn't gum up, doesn't anything. And I've got cutaway stabilizer, and I'm using the Super Punch no-show mesh because I like it. It's soft, it's nice, and it's easy to get. So here's the size of our block. 8x8 is my favorite size for quilt blocks. It is big enough to get in all the detail, but not too big as to be, difficult to do. So there we go. Put my batting down, and now we're gonna sew it down and make it look awesome. So the reason why we do it this way is so that we don't have any of the batting in our seam allowance, which makes everything look much nicer in the end. Much nicer. So I sometimes get a little bit lazy in the stuff that I'm doing, but I never get lazy with cutting this because it's so much easier without having it. It's so much easier. So awesome. It's going to go around twice so we hold it down really nicely. And then next up I'm going to put the background fabric. Now you can layer over the background fabric if you want. You just got to make sure that you match with the next block. I am not suggesting that you cut the background fabric. I did it for a couple of reasons. There we go. We're going to go back to the desk so I can trim this. Stability is one, because we're doing a lot of satin stitches and a lot of everything, but also to make it easier. Desk done?
Desk is up.
Thank you. To make it easier when you go to match them up, that everything top, sides, bottom matches because it's the same fabric because you're using the same background fabric. Now you could change it up and have half eggs matching and do the next one. Like you can switch it around. It still looks good. You could put the sashing in between each block and do each block completely differently. I think that would look amazing. So many things you can do. Just about anything goes. It's dragon eggs. They don't actually exist. So you can make them do whatever you want. I just saw someone said bobbin, and you know what? I need to change it. So,
I was going to say they're screaming out bobbin. Bobbin police is on patrol.
I forgot. So thank you, bobbin police. We're going to go back to the desk and change the bobbin because I won't win the game of chicken. Barbara, thank you very much. So let's go back to the machine, Dawn. You can see I would not win bobbin chicken. It's not winnable with that.
Amy says your needle threader looks so happy all the time.
Yes, it does have a happy face. See, I love that. That's like people having fun that you see faces on everything. I see faces on cars all the time, which I find really funny. Some of them are angry, some of them are, happy, that sort of thing. All right, so thanks, Bobbin Police. Thank you very much. I was so concerned about playing around with my fabric for my quilts. So hold on, I'll be right there. I need a little bit of spray, and I'm not going to spray near my machine because it's not good for my machine. And I'm spraying because I may or may not have ironed the fabric. Anything's possible. All right, look at that. I ironed it. What are you talking about? What, Don?
Nothing.
See, I may or may not have ironed it. But yeah. It's just a little way of cheating because this was a heck of a crease, man. The pattern is in my cart now. All right, Betty. You're going to love it. It's a lot of fun. So this background fabric makes up the sides and the top and bottom. So although it looks like a literal ton of cutting and trimming, it's only 5 clamshells. So it's easy and fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change colors because I want you guys to see what it is doing. And there we go. So because I have black, which happens to, match in quite a bit, which is awesome. Sue, does a fuse and stick make the fabric stiff or does it wash out? I don't know if it'll wash out. It absolutely does not make the fabric stiff though. Right now it is because it has the paper on the back. But generally, no. Nice and soft.
It's pretty good once you peel it back though.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of sticky stuff. So, and it's super soft. I'll show you and then I will get Don to check it out, see what he thinks. But super soft. And it's like the best thing ever. I wish I could have like a bedroom full of this stuff. All right, so I changed the thread just so you guys can see it better. Now these are our placement stitches. So they are showing us where we are going to place our fabric, or in this case, our pre-cut little pieces. And we're going to do it on the desk, so I'm going to show you guys everything, how to do it. Super easy. See, you can see that better. Lovely. Lovely. And I think it's going to turn out really nice. So, okay. Any good questions about the fusing stick? That's dime, of course. Now you can use heat and bond, light maybe, but it's not sticky. You still have to iron it on. But you know what? That's easy enough to do. For sure. Easy enough to do. So, either way, I mean, whatever you prefer. I like the fusing stick. I don't know if I'll be using it for my quilt, but I might be. I haven't decided yet. I have a 12 by 24 fabric mat for the Cricut, so that's what I'm going to be doing. And I should be able to cut out 18 per mat. Okay, so the next step is we are going to put the fabric down. So let's go back to the desk, Dawn. Move my black thread and put away my evidence of cheating. I didn't cheat, you cheated. So I got my piles. I'm going to get baskets for the massive amounts of stuff I'm going to do.
Story, here I come.
Yep. It is.
I was thinking I could use a couple more.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some. So let's start off with maybe a white one. So we're going to peel it off. This is where my nails come in handy, although, you know, I say that and I'm gonna have a hard time doing it this time. So, okay, that is... Now, I just pulled it, and it's not shiny. So, that doesn't work. That just means I didn't fuse it well. Let's pick another one. Just. And this is just me because of my nails. I usually, when it's sitting, doing the placement stitch, I get this separated. There we go. See the shiny?
I do.
And it is super soft. Super soft. Jill, thank you very much, Jill. So, sticky. And look, it can stick. And then, okay, we want to fix it, remove it, and it's not going anywhere. It's wonderful. So, when you're placing it, this is why the sticky helps. I just lightly touch it down. Then, that's not quite right there. You can redo it as many times as you want. It's not hard to do. And even if you're a little bit off, it really doesn't matter because our wonderful satin stitches are going to cover everything up. Now, I do this at the hoop, but I found when I do it, I miscalculate for the top of it. And it doesn't turn out quite right. So that's as close as we're going to get. Oh, wait, I want to check. Yes, I'm perfectly covering everything. So, isn't that easy? I think that's easy. Let's cheat and do another one while we're here. Isn't that great, though? I think it's awesome. So, what you have to do when you have the size... So, for me, I send it directly from my luminaire to my cutter and add a little bit of size to it. So we want it, I think I decided on 4 or 5 millimeters larger. Otherwise, it will fit perfectly. It is the exact same size, but you won't get proper edges and won't stitch it down. So you want to do that. So I'm just going to do 2 like that. Now look, perfectly flat. These are the benefits. Perfectly flat, pretty close to perfectly placed. Again, don't worry about going a little over. Just try to make it as even as possible. And this one I want a little bit better, so I'm just going to pull off this part and kind of, you know, ease it to where I want. That is much better. That's the benefits of it. That's all. That's the benefits. So let's go back to the machine. That's what?
That looks awesome.
Yeah, I like it. So now we're going to stitch it down. Now remember the middle one, we're going to do a regular applique so you can see. And this is where the, you know, the fun is. See how close I was? See, that's about perfect. That is literally about how I trim it. Now that could be over a little bit more, but we're not going to see any of this when the satin stitches go on. But I think that's a lot easier. Now I fiddled around a little bit when we were placing it, just to show you guys, and I'll probably keep doing that just so, you know, people tuning in late can catch it. See, that one's good too. Ah, I love it when a placement comes together. Isn't that awesome? So you can decide which way of applique. They both have benefits. They both take time. There's no two ways about it. Whatever you prefer. I tend to mix it up a little bit. Okay, so the next one is our center, and this is, I'm going to put our beautiful blue on and make sure my charm square fits, and we're going to stitch it down, and then we're going to trim it just like regular old applique, which is awesome. See, this is nice and flat too. You don't have to worry about how you place it. So there's benefits to both.
Lorelai says she can see that it looks
Very
very soft.
soft, very soft.
It seems like Fusible's come a long way.
It's, to me, it's much better than the heat and bond. I don't need to, we relied wholeheartedly on heat and bond for years. Back to the desk, Don. But I really like it. I really like it. So, regular applique. So if you don't have a cutter, this is how you're going to do it. So the same, you can mix it up the way I'm doing it. It's kind of nice to have, you know, a different colored egg here and there. And I think it's gonna, the blue, I picked a perfect one. And I love it. Isn't that cool?
I like it.
So, yes, applique. If you don't have a cutter, applique. So I'm just going to move my things here. While we're here, let's, I almost want to leave this one because the flowers are so, What? What,
Didn't
Don?
say you wouldn't see the quilting in it.
What do you mean?
Or is there quilting? Yeah, there's quilting in that one.
Yeah, why wouldn't you see it?
Well, it just looks because of the flowers.
Yeah,
I like
never mind. Could you add puffy foam to any of the eggs? Well, you could try, I guess. I don't think it would make too much of a difference. I don't have any, you know, puffy foam specific stitches on it, but as long as it's not too thick, I don't see why not. I think a better option would be to add a layer of batting, maybe, and do it that way. I think that would be better. Puffy foam is kind of stiff and kind of specific, I guess. So I would go for the batting, kind of like Trapunto style.
Maureen says she loves the flowers.
Yeah. Should we try it and see how it looks? Because I think that might be cool. Yeah, let's do it. I don't know how it'll turn out. That's the first time I've done it, but let's see. Just the flowers happen to turn out now. There's going to be satin stitches here and here, so it should look pretty good. All right, back to the machine. I'm always up for impromptu ideas. So right now we're going to stitch this guy down, and I'm a little off. I wasn't paying enough attention, but that's okay. It'll all be worked out in the end. It's okay to leave this little part sticking out too. Yeah, I was quite a bit off. Again, it's okay.
That's baby lock baby lock machine. Is that comparable to?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And the silhouette too. You can do any of it, all of it. I'm going to be showing you guys how to set it up for the Cricut and then just cut.
Talk to the machine.
No, they don't at all. Cricut is good. I love my Cricut and I love my scan and cut. So I kind of, when I was cutting last time, I kind of highlighted parts that I like and that I don't like, which is interesting. So the scan and cut, you do a lot of it on the machine, whereas the Cricut, you really don't do a whole lot on the machine. Purple and purple, let's do it.
Deborah B says, how about some organza over that great fabric?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that would look amazing, wouldn't it? So definitely, yes, you can. Anything like that to make your egg stand out, I think it would look awesome. Yeah, you could put a piece of organza over the whole thing and trim it out when these stitches are going on, and I think it would be beautiful. Or if you have scraps, kind of larger scraps of it, which I'm sure we all do, you could just put it over 1 or 2 eggs, which I think would also look awesome. So it's awesome. Cindy King brought cookies. Awesome. Thanks, Cindy King. Be anxious to watch the replay. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. We talked about how I'm sticking these down, talking about regular applique, and we're talking about cutters. So if you have a cutter, so the main ones are the Brother Scan and Cut, the Cricut, and I think the Cricut Maker is the only one that uses the rotary blade, which is a must. And the Silhouette, I don't have a Silhouette, so I'm not up to date on that. You can do this with any cutter. So, and any machine too, you don't have to. I happen to have the Luminaire and the newest Scan and Cut because they talk to each other. So what does that mean? It means just simply that I save a few steps, it's convenience, and I can send the embroidery design directly to the cutter from the embroidery machine, and it picks out the applique, and then I can do it. You don't need a computer, you don't need anything else. Again, as I've been saying for a while, just bells and whistles. Cricut will not do that, but you can still use it. I've been using my Cricut for years for cutting fabric. You just have to grab the shape in software and bring it in and trace it. So, and then send it to your Cricut machine, and it's the same thing. So the answer is yes. Yes, you can with anything that you have. Yeah. Yep. I did all those by hand. Created most of them, I guess. So now we're going to do the satin stitches. And the way I did the satin stitches, like the design of it, there's a lot of color changes. So you can decide what colors you want to do. So you could do each egg in a matching color, like just the same thing all the way through. I think that would look absolutely fine because the fabric's different. Or you could use all the same fabric and change all the colors of the satin stitches. You could do them all in, say, yellow or orange, depending on your background, and it would look like a kind of like a glow, like each egg is glowing. So many ideas. This is why I love this clamshell shape. And quilting stitches, yeah, for sure. Now, this was a risk, but I love it. I love how it turned out. Now I'm going to do the next one in the same color because I think the purple will show up really nice on the polka dots. All my polka dots are straight too. I'm loving that. And remember, this was our regular applique one. So this is a 27-minute stitch. So that's actually pretty quick for a big fancy I don't know, traditional quilt, I'm gonna say. Traditional quilt made modern. Traditional shape, the clamshell is a traditional shape, and modernized because it's dragons. Can we get a space theme, Star Wars, Star Trek inspired table runner quilt? Hubby has been making models and Legos and needs something to put underneath them. I could do that, except as much as I would absolutely love to do either Star Wars or Star Trek, I can't because of copyright, but I can do general space. Can you write that down? Space. Because I'm thinking spacey clamshells. Yeah. And I had a moment of, I'm not sure if it's great or not, but gnomes. I did it. Still working on it, but I did it. So, Misha, tell your husband, yes, I will. I will work on that.
Can you do Mickey Mouse?
No.
No, Lynn, sorry.
Oh, I could do a Mickey Mouse for Lynn as a gift because I have the machine. So, metallic thread with space theme would be cool. Yep. Carolyn says gnomes. Yes, yes. I wasn't sure, so I put it in the testers group, such as it is, and they loved it. So it's pretty clever, and I think you guys will love it. So if anyone has any time to space cookies, nice. If anyone has any time to specifically help me test these clamshell designs and make, you know, there's 7 blocks and everything, I really need help. A couple of people in the testers groups are doing it, and that's all the testers that we have right now. It just wasn't working out, but I do need some help with this one. So if you're interested just for this project, let me know. Lorelei says, how about variegated threads? Oh, I think variegated threads on a clamshell would look amazing. See, the purple looks good on here.
Yeah, I like it.
Just makes it stand out. I don't know what that quilting design is, but I like it. You know what? I'm going to do purple for all of them and see how it looks. Because that's one thing I wanted to test out. Would you use metallic on the solid fabrics? Yeah. A witch for Halloween. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on Halloween clamshells, because, yeah. What about Christmas clamshells? Each clamshell can be an ornament. Yeah, I've thought of all that. I just was trying to control myself. What?
There's a couple that want to help you with your project.
Okay, good. Good.
How do you want them to contact
Well, what's the best way? Email, probably. Sue at omlembroidery.com. Halloween is right around the corner. Oh, it's so tempting. Because all the bright fabrics and everything I could use for Halloween. And then put, like, Halloween faces on everything. That would be awesome. So, one thing, these are connector clamshells. So the top and bottom and the sides are connector ones. So it's a good idea to keep, if you're gonna do, you need to zoom out a little bit, Don. If you're gonna do the matchy thing, to do, what do you mean you can't? Oh, why are we so close? Can you switch to the desk then? Alright, just to show you guys this. So this is my connecting one. I'm just going to stay here on the desk. Just going to get stitching. There we go. These are the connector ones. So when we put it together, we want it to match, like the yellow one here. See how they match? I think it would look fine otherwise, but make it match. So I picked the purple for all my connector ones, so therefore they're all gonna match. So just to keep that in mind, you don't have to, that's why I did them all separately, but if you want it put together and look seamless, that's how you do it. All right, back to the machine, please. And we're still stitching. This would have looked amazing in any color for sure. There, just dig that down a little bit. I seem to be sticking with the purple a bit. Maybe I'll change it up. What's that?
Denise says she's waiting for your 5x7 picture.
Okay. Yep,
And
I will.
That's the gnome.
Yeah, I usually get on an idea and just rock it out with a whole bunch more ideas. The gnomes are really cute. I have 3 blocks, so I don't know how many blocks I'm gonna do, but I'll do up some sashing and maybe call it a day on that, because you could just repeat everything and do the, I've got a boy gnome, a girl gnome with long braids, and kind of like a grandpa gnome with sunglasses. Kind of looks like ZZ Top, but isn't. What are you laughing at?
You might need a grandma gnome too then.
I don't know what a grandma gnome would be, just...
With braids and the little wire frame glasses.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, gnome family. It's really cute. Good tip for the connections. Yeah, you just got to keep it in mind, the big picture. So, I've done a couple of drafts of this, and I found it was just a little bit easier to do it this way, rather than, because I had all the pieces, all the sides and top pieces in the same color just running at once, but we're going from left to right and getting everything done. So if you want this fabric with yellow to match, just remember what you're doing and mark your blocks in which order they go. So you can literally do anything that you want. It's pretty darn awesome. I always like to leave a lot of room for creativity. So there may be a bunch of color changes. See, now I have to do this one purple. There may be a bunch of color changes, but it just gives you the opportunity to change, you know, whatever you want on it. So I'm going to stick with the purple, but I think it would look cool to have a purple clamshell connector on one side, and then maybe, you know, pick another color from in here. The pale blue, I have that one right here. You can see it. Can we see it okay? The pale blue connector. and then do the left-hand side on the next block with the pale blue. Same background, different color. So there's so many ways you can do it. So many ways. I had thoughts too. I had this beautiful Christmas charm squares, and I thought this would be good just with a little bit of quilting and the charm squares, just plunk them down because they all match and they're in a really nice order usually, and I think it's awesome.
You're getting a lot of ideas for your
Grandma gnome. All right.
grandma.
Okay, good. I need ideas. I want to include as much as I can in it. So I should be able to, I gotta tidy it up, but I should be able to release the gnome ones.
Could you stick, could you stick or iron all the 5 of the 8 clamshells
You could stick them down if you want. You just got to make sure your placement is spot on because you don't want overlaps in the wrong place. So say for example, you stick top left, top right down, and then you put the middle one and it's off a little bit. When you do the satin stitches, it's going to show through. So accuracy is key. But yes, you can, and that is the reason why I am doing it on the multi-needle machine, is because that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna take my time, I'm gonna take it off the machine, put it on a table, and make sure everything's accurate because they should fit almost exactly. Now this one here, I'm off quite a bit on just about everything. I actually kind of like the eggs all in one color too. Like the satin stitches. I think that looks good as well. Then what stands out is the fabric. I kind of think of the outlines here as shadows or glow. That's interesting, a glow. Kind of a glow. So yes, you can. I wouldn't just, if you have them pre-cut, I wouldn't just, set the fabric down because it's going to move and you're going to make a mess. It has to be like staying there sort of thing. So that's when the fuse and stick comes in handy. Perfect placement. I love it for that. So we're going to do 2 experiments. So this one, I just really like that it's full of flowers, and it has a little bit of quilting in it, which still should look good, and then the satin. So let's do it. You could skip the quilting if you want. Why don't we do that? Because you can do whatever you want with these. So all we have to do is fast forward over the quilting stitches. So let's move it along. That's all I'm doing, just manually moving it along until I get to the bottom. Oh, I know where it ends, kind of in the middle. Oh, still. Okay, 100. Think I'm just about there. Jeez Louise, go. Because it's the same color, this is what I'm doing here. I think I'm on the edge now. Yeah, I am. Okay, got it. Alright, I'm just going to go from there. It's doing a zigzag, but that's all you have to do is take a minute to skip. You don't want to skip a color because you still have to have the satin stitch. But doing it just the way I did is fine. So I skipped the quilting stitches and I'm just doing the outside. That way my flowers will stand out. And I think they look fantastic. They just happen to fall in the right spot. So that's another trick you can do if you happen to have a perfect clamshell like I did. Don't put any fabric over it. It looks different. I love it. What do you think, Don? Kind of, yeah. It'll be a very pretty dragon from this egg. Now, if you don't like the dragons, you know, this block, there's always going to be one block that doesn't have any, you know, theme on it. So you can use them in between, or you can make a whole quilt out of these blocks. If you don't want the dragons, you can make a whole quilt out of it and use different fabric. Each block will be different, or do each block the same. It doesn't even matter. Put some sashing around it. I think that would be gorgeous. That would be going back to traditional clamshell shapes. So I think this is going to look good. We have 1, 2, 3 more clamshells to cover over. I do really actually like all the same color for the outline. I think it actually looks really good. And I might do that. Same color. It kind of does make it have a glow. All right, our last part, and then we can look at what we've done. So stitch, keep the same color. So do you guys like the different colors on each clamshell, or do you guys like the same color? I think the same color works just as well. So I might have a little trouble with the one corner right there that it's gonna stitch, but we'll see. I like your background fabric. Have you thought about cutting the clamshells by fussy cutting with your scanner? Would be so cool. Yeah, definitely. I just didn't have enough of this fabric to do it. That's really what it's down to. So the same thread color works really well. Yeah, I'm actually really liking it. This is the first one that I've done without you know, changing the colors. So all the same colors for all the satin, and I really like it. I'm quite surprised. All right, go satin stitches. It's almost covering it. It did. All right, so even if you're not perfectly on, people, it works. It works. Yeah, you can't tell. I love it. I'm thinking fire colors with a variegated thread for the quilting. I think that is gonna look fantastic, Misha. I think it's awesome. Amazing flexibility in this design. Be creative, that's my thing. I can come up with the base pattern and give you guys a ton of ideas, and you can create it yourself. Again, that's why I try to add in, you know, all the color changes that I can, so you can do that. Yes, Robin says, I like that idea, Misha. Yeah, that would be fantastic for sure. So what an awesome design. Like I said, this is something I have wanted to do for a long time. For some reason, I just love the clamshell shape. It looks more complicated than it is, and I kind of like that.
Turned out amazing.
Misha, do you need a 5x7 hoop, or can you do bigger? Because I will design something spacey for your husband, so you can do that. He's awesome. He's so supportive of Misha. We just love him for that. So yeah, I will design something, but I can't remember the largest size hoop you have. Yes. I just need to get my craft room back from hubby. He's using it as storage and I can't even get to my machine. Misha, I have okay, I thought so. So a little bit smaller clamshell and somehow shape into a Christmas tree shape. Oh yeah. I have the clamshell in AccuQuilt. Wouldn't that be amazing? Yeah, I don't have a clamshell in AccuQuilt. I have lots of hexagons and stuff, but I don't have the clamshell. 9x14. So if I do an 8x8, looks a bit like Mama Dragon scales. I know. It could be too. Well, you guys suggested dragons, like for themes, and I put it together with clamshells and decided dragon eggs would be cool. So you could do a dark theme, Halloween theme, Christmas dragon eggs, because why not? Halloween, fire theme, different colored fire theme, because, fire can be blue as well, so you could do shades of blue and white. Awesome. Misha says, I have an 8x8 hoop. It's my favorite quilt block hoop. Me too. I don't know why. It's just the right size for everything. Just enough detail that you're not losing anything. It's big enough so you don't have to do a gazillion of them to make a quilt. I just love it. It's my go-to size. I do it all the time for sure. It's my fault. My husband knows not to bring anything into my space. Payback is not good for him. Yeah, mine does too, for sure. All right, so we're going to go back to the desk, Dawn. I'm going to pop this out before I take it to the desk. And normally I do this part with, a nice ruler and a rotary cutter, but I just want to get it toned down so we can put them together and see. I think you guys will have a ton of fun with this project. Everything's open. Clamshells are where it's at. It is the best shape ever. And look, let's move all this stuff. So, I like how it looks with the same color. I think that's cool. I really like the satin stitches the same color. So when you're sewing it together, it'll be, like this. Make it match.
Perfect.
Yeah. There you go. I have to do a little bit of easing on this. But isn't that perfect? Seamless. That's what I was going for. Seamless shapes. So if you sew it together nice enough, even if you're off a little bit, no one's going to be able to notice. If you're off this much, someone's going to notice. But they will all match up. And it looks like you spent a lot of time cutting out a ton of clamshells, which of course you haven't. And because we kept the purple all the way through, this is how this one's going to go. It's going to have to go a little bit more than that too. The top and bottom was actually really hard to do. It's got to go, so the idea is you keep to the pattern. See how I did that? That's what you need to do, because we want this to touch that. So then it's a perfect clamshell. And then you have another half clamshell here, matching fabric. Isn't that perfect? I think that looks amazing. So you just have to be a little more careful with the top and bottom. But table runner, pillows. What about a dragon tote bag in fire colors?
Ooh, that would be
I
cool.
think awesome. Where did the embroidery creatures come from? The dragons, you mean? From my brain? That's it. Just my brain. So awesome. This one turned out well too. You really can't tell, you really can't tell here that I didn't put any fabric down. And I think every once in a while, if you get, a perfect clamshell like that, go for it. That was good test. I like that, and I like the one color. I think I'll do my new quilt in one color for a lot of it. It's awesome. OML? Oh, sorry. Did I misunderstand the question? I might have. Beth says, love this video. Thank you, Sue and Dawn. Well, I hope you guys have fun with this. I love it. I love the clamshells. It's so much fun, and it looks so much more complicated than it really is. I'm getting the hiccups. So thanks everyone for watching. Go ahead and pick up this design. There are 7 blocks, 3 different kinds of sashing, and 2 different cornerstones. So you get everything. Isabel says, you have a dragon in your brain? Yeah. Puff the magic dragon. I mean, don't you? Really? For sure? Head on over to OML Embroidery. It's on sale right now. I keep the prices low. It's just simply to keep the channel going. So anytime that you buy something from OML Embroidery, and please do, it is just going to, basically keep the channel going so I can get new stuff and do everything. There's lots of tips and tricks, and there's a video. There's, more than 1,000 videos on my channel. So watch, learn, stitch, and have a good time. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys on Monday for more pre-cutting fabric on the computer. Bye everyone.